You can call me Prophet Papama. I am from South Africa. I'm 100% South African. My ancestors originated in South Africa, and they are South African 100%. God spoke to me this morning and asked me to deliver this message to President Ramaphosa, to his government, to officials of his government in various departments and in various ranks, and to the illegal foreigners that are in South Africa and those who continue to do wrong to South Africa and South Africans. The voice of God said to me earlier today that I am a God of law and order. I am a God of law and order. 1, 2, God said to me, I have chosen South Africa for my purpose and for my will. I have chosen South Africans to be an example that black and white can live together happily and peacefully. He has chosen South Africa to be a good example to the world. That is why now he's got his children who are talented in South Africa going all over the world, being happy in the midst of what is happening in the world, which is violence, which is hate, which is wars, which is this, which is unhappiness, envy, and all those things, and criminal acts, and all those things all over the world. God said, I chose South Africa to be an example of a beautiful rainbow. That's why South Africa is called a rainbow nation. Is to show the world that he wants happiness and unity and love among different races in the world. But people in the world continue to live in envious moods, hate, and doing all these things that they do. They hate, basically. God said to me, I must send out a strong message to the government of South Africa, who continue to ignore his chosen nation, which is South Africans and South Africa. As you can see now, there's the likes of Tyler, there's the likes of a lot of artists, music artists from South Africa. They're going all over the world. I did a prophecy like this before where I said God is going to choose South Africa and make it a nation that goes around the world to inspire people through music, talent, and all of that. That is happening now. That prophecy has come. Listen to my videos that are past. Some will say I'm a fake prophet, I'm this, I'm that. Call me what you want. Call me what you want. Because I'm from South Africa, I can't be a true prophet. Prophets don't come from certain countries in Africa. They don't come from certain regions in the world. Prophets of South Africa are South African. They are born in South Africa, prophets of South Africa, to help and save South Africans. Call what you want. You can even ask about Prophet Papama from your so-called prophet, the one you trust from your big church. And let him talk bad about me. God said, you touch my chosen ones, you touch my anointed ones, then you touch me, and you shall see my wrath if you do that. Let your fake prophets, let me be in record, let your fake prophets, because 99% of churches that are in South Africa, from people who've come into South Africa from other countries, are fake. They are out there, they are wolves who are in South Africa to take money from you South Africans. But now God has said, enough is enough. He has chosen his people, and if you abuse his chosen people, which is in this case are South Africans, you come and amass wealth from them and lie to them and do magic to get their money, you will see my wrath. Now this one is for government. President Cyril Ramaphosa, you and your government, you and your officials are doing wrong in the eyes of God. God said to me, I must pass this message to say they must stop continuing to do wrong, because he's put them in places of power, some of them, but they abuse their power. by ill-treating South Africans, by ignoring South Africans, by allowing illegal foreigners to be in South Africa, which is a crime, roaming around freely in South Africa, continuing every day to do wrong. So God is saying, illegal foreigners and those who are doing illegal business in South Africa must pack their things and go, because going forward, government is going to even appoint security companies to deal on the streets with those who carry on living in South Africa illegally, continue breaking laws in South Africa, coming from other countries and working illegally in South Africa. That's why you see now that the government has started. This is going to intensify. That's what God has said, because God is in it. God is cleaning South Africa. God is going to continue to clean South Africa. God said to me, those who are in this country illegally, those who are working in this country, those who are here in this country to do crime or continuing, must stop, pack their bags and leave South Africa. Otherwise, they're going to live in South Africa in a bad state. They will never be happy in South Africa. And the government is going to intensify their efforts. Some are going to be arrested. Some are going to get a premature death and issues because of the wrong that they continue to do. This one is for all those who are illegal in South Africa. It comes from God. The message that's going to government and officials of government, God is saying, stop your underhanded trading. Stop taking bribes. Stop doing all these things that are criminal offenses towards South Africans. Because when you take bribes and allow people to cross the border illegally, when you allow people to roam around the streets in South Africa, and you know that they don't have proper documents, but you still let them do that, you are also doing a problem to the Almighty God, because God is not happy. God can see anything. And God said he's going to deal with the government officials who don't do their jobs properly, and those who continue to do wrong to South Africans and ignore South Africans and not help South Africans whilst they are put in places of power. They must deal with illegal foreigners. They must deal with all the ills that are happening in South Africa, because they are put in those positions to help. That goes to the police. That goes to officials of Home Affairs. That goes to Labor. That goes to President Ramaphosa. That goes to everybody. Then God said he's going to deal with the people that do not do their jobs, because they are allowing South Africans to suffer, to continue suffering. They are not helping South Africans. God said to me, people will see his wrath, those who continue to do illicit things, underhanded dealings. They are taking money under tables, and then they ignore South Africans and their dire plight. God is saying he is going to continue fighting for South Africans, and whatever is happening now is just a start where illegal foreigners are being dealt with. Illegal foreigners are not going to live peacefully in South Africa. Some are going to be arrested. Some are going to see their premature deaths. And whoever is continuing to do wrong in South Africa whilst they are in places of power, whilst they've been given positions of power, God is going to deal with them. They're going to see premature death. Some are going to struggle. Even their descendants are going to get cases. Going forward, they'll always be cursed because of the wrongs that they are doing right now. So I'm saying to you, government people of South Africa, work with South Africans, help South Africans. South Africans have prayed to God for many years in their struggles, but you still don't help them. And God now has heard. God has started helping South Africans more than he's ever helped them before. God has risen for South Africa. As you can see what's happening, God is lifting South Africa and putting it in a pedestal in the world. They are winning games. They are doing this. The world knows about South Africa. Why? Because God wanted it to be so. God said it's going to be so, and it is so. God is putting South Africa up because he wants to inspire the world to change to being good, to change to being happy, to change to be real when it comes to serving and appreciating God. The reason why all these Africans are coming to open churches churches in South Africa, it's because they know that South Africans truly love God and they can do anything for the sake of their love for God. That's why it's easy for these Nigerians, for these whoever pastors, all these fake pastors and fake prophets. That's why it's easy for them to come and amass wealth and become wolves in South Africa. 99% of churches that are opened by foreigners in South Africa, let me tell you this, God is not in them. And as a South African, if you continue to go to these churches, you are going to be part of the wrath that is going to be received by these fake prophets and these fake pastors. I said this about 3 years ago, if not 4, about the certain prophet from Malawi that you know, the one who claimed that he's working for God, that God is going to deal with him. And God has started dealing with him. He was lucky because he ran away from South Africa. He did something illegal again, but he's saying he's serving God. He left South Africa. When he left South Africa, he did good for himself. Now he must go and cheat people and bluff people in his country, not in South Africa. Because the next thing that was going to happen to him was going to be his premature death. But as he carries on in that country, he's going to have problems too, because he's not stopping to use God's name in vain. So I'm talking to you, government. I'm talking to you, head of state, that if you continue to do wrong, you are going to be moved. God is putting together a godly government. The government that's current is not godly. The government that's current is going to be taken over. The government that's current doesn't have God in it. That's why it's not hearing God. That's why it's not helping South Africans. That's why it's focusing on whatever they're focusing on, but not helping South Africans. That's why it's working against South Africans. Let me repeat this. When you touch God's chosen, when you touch God's chosen nation and God's chosen people, you've touched God. And God doesn't lose battles. God doesn't lose wars. God is not supposed to be touched. You're going to see his wrath, I'm telling you. You're going to see God's wrath, I'm telling you. You are going to see God's wrath, I'm telling you. You are not powerful enough. You are not powerful enough. You can lead this land. You can be the president of this land, but you are not powerful enough. Continue to do wrong and you're going to see God's wrath. Some ministers have fallen already because they carried on doing wrong to South Africans. They carried on going in the nights, taking brown parcels and destroying South Africa and allowing illegal people to come into South Africa and do as they please. God said enough is enough. Stop it. Stop it. God is putting a new government together that's going to help South Africans. That's going to help South Africa because God is in South Africa. God is really angry at those who have come to destroy South Africa in various ways. I'm telling you, you must pray. You must stop. You must go back to your countries because wrath is coming for you. This is God's prophet, Prophet Papama. I pray that you are safe where you are, because if you're doing wrong to God's people, you are going to see God's wrath. I'm stopping here. That's the message that God said I must deliver to his people. If you think that I'm lying, watch this space. Watch this space. Watch God act. Watch God act. God is a God of truth. God is a God of God is a God of truth. God is a God of righteousness. You can't do wrong and then think that you're going to hide in a church. They're going to find you in the church. They're going to find you in the streets. They're going to find you anywhere you hide. Stop. Leave South Africa. Leave South Africa because you are doing wrong to South Africa just by the virtue of you being illegal. Government people, stop taking those monies. Stop hating South Africans, because South Africa is God's chosen nation. Amen.